I would like to introduce Dr. Maria Ian. Dr. Maria Ian looks for the relentless, fearless, and the spectacular in helping her clients overcome various pitfalls. She is results-oriented personal development coach and writing coach with over a decade of experience in counseling. As a project manager, Dr. Ian is transformative, detailed-oriented, and highly productive. She has facilitated numerous projects for legal service providers. As a writer, her focus is on medical science and psychological thriller and mystery genres. If you go to her personal website from her Facebook page, you will find that she was in full writing gear at the age of 2, and as she is self-taught. Maria has also completed many professional writing classes, a PhD in political science, and a JD in law. Her passion is to investigate the miraculous connection between spirit and energy behind the science. Is that too abstract? No worries. We are all together on that path Dr. Maria Ian delights in, the opportunity to provide guiding light. Her presentation, what you always wanted to know about ancestral healing, but were too afraid to ask. We welcome Dr. Maria Ian.
Hi, I'm going to look at 3 arguments from contemporary science: genes control life, the environment controls, and something else governs us all. Now, there's going to be a lot of science packed in 6 minutes. So for simplicity's sake, there might be some abstract language. Many of you probably know the debate over genes, DNA control life, or does the environment control? We all know what it means to say that genes control. It means that our hereditary material controls our evolution. That is the basic Darwinian argument. The much more interesting one is the one derived from contemporary science, including cell biology and quantum physics, which comes together in the environment argument, according to which it is the environmental signal that adjusts the genetic. The argument goes like this: the nucleus of the cell has genes in it that are blueprints to make the cell and its part. So the nucleus is reproduction. The skin or membrane of the cell is the nervous system that reads the environment and adjusts the inside of the cell. The skin or membrane is the foundation of the nervous system from the single cell to the human. So the cell is conscious and interactive. The brain, the membrane as the foundation of the nervous system, is on the outside receiving information from the environment, at which point consciousness is spread out. The analogy is the back of the embryo turns in and becomes the spinal cord and the brain. Some very contemporary science is using funky, interesting language that is, for lack of better words, in the context of contemporary biology. And it goes like this: the cell membrane is a computer chip. The nucleus is a hard drive with programs. The information comes to the surface of the cell, and there are proteins created by the inside of the cell that translate the signal that comes to the surface from the outside and turns it into behavior. That is the interface of life. We are not controlled by our genes in this account. We are controlled by what goes on in the environment. However, here we are introducing something crucially important, and that is consciousness. The cell has self-receptors created out of the protein in the genetic blueprint. No two people are biologically the same. Where is our identity? Each of us has a different set of these self-receptors on the cell. And they don't tell us, I am muscle, I am bone. They tell us, this is cell. In quantum physics, a receptor responds to a field in the creation of energy. No two people get the same reception or broadcast because each one of us has our own sets of antennas, our own physical proteins. My identity is picked up by the receptors. So there's a broadcast of Maria or broadcast of Krisztina that's coming in here. So in a way, we are like television sets, but we are not the TV. You are the broadcast. The field is the sole governing agency of the particle. Those are Einstein's famous words. So the ultimate source is beyond space and time. The self-receptors that are created out of the genetic blueprints by interpreting those signals that are coming from the environment create the mind. And this process of interpretation creates consciousness. We are talking about a field. So we can study how cells, by means of the energy field, they create, control gene activity. So contemporary science, again, is very persuasive that the field is the sole governing agency of the particle. What does that mean? Now we're going to use some very abstract language. You're going to have to bear with me. This is putting a lot of science in one paragraph. We need to take a closer look at the process of the creation of consciousness. It is the cell that creates consciousness when the cell receptors created from our genetic blueprint respond to the energy fields. The entire process of genetic blueprints that make the cell also involves energy, electricity. So the translation by the inside of the cell of the signal that comes to the surface from the outside is the energy field writing consciousness and creating, for simplicity's sake, the cell's brain. The cell's brain is a form of energy with consciousness and purpose. And the energy field writes consciousness into that brain. It is a two-way process by the means of which identity, the self, is created. So in the energy of the universe, we are life born at creation. We are the universe. That, by definition, is not governed by time or space. It's beyond both of those. That is awareness, realizing that you are the universe in the silence of perfect safety. You are a pure energy with no regards to time and space. It's highly important to point out that this process of translation of spiritual energy into cellular energy is neutral. It knows no good and evil, and it is entirely devoid of any color. So what does it mean? What does this mean about ancestry? According to studies, after about the 8th month of life, our energy has a certain ability, for simplicity's sake, to resolve its processes in collaboration with our genetic material. While it's always true that it is the field that is the governing agency of the particle. And prior to our 8 months of life, energy is more free floating, which means it is more sensitive to picking up genetic material. However, this being of an infant stays with us throughout life, since the field is always the governing agency of the particle. Some of you may have heard energy and professional meditation practitioners state that it is this area prior to the 8th month and going back to birth and even before then, that primarily has to be cleared for our existence in the here and now to be the most attuned to the field that we transcribe throughout life. An infant is more powerful in terms of real, actual power than an adult because it owns the pure essence of the universe. So can we stay infants forever? According to the science, we could. According to the practice, we live in a world that is completely divorced from the science. However, I want to repeat, according to the science, we could. That is why I like to say that we have to train ourselves to change how we operate with the subconscious mind. There are many more highly fascinating observations that can be added. So anyone who's interested, I'm on the WhatsApp group, please do get in contact or look me up on LinkedIn or contact me at my email, mariaianauthor@gmail.com. Thanks so much for the opportunity to present on this fascinating topic.
Dr. Maria Ian, I have to tell you that it always fascinates me how you can combine spirituality with the science and how well you explain actually the connection between spirituality and science, right? You said that cell is conscious. Spirituality, we say that so by you explaining from a different point of view, saying with different words the same things.
Yeah.
And yes, we are live both at creation. You shared a powerful message. Thank you so much. And I love the fact that science embraces, studies more and more what happens in spirituality and actually approves everything what has been there for thousands and thousands of years. So thank you very much for being part of it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ian. I mean, it was beautifully said on how we focus on operating on the subconscious mind. Thank you for educating us. I would like to introduce next Virginia Rivera. Virginia Rivera is a certified business mentor, coach, and consultant with more than 25 years as a corporate and business leader. Bachelor of Fine Arts, major in dance from Columbia College of Chicago, postgraduate degree in the culinary arts and food and beverage management from the Chicago Cooking Academy, MBA specialization in entrepreneurship and innovation from Singapore Business School. Virginia has made an impact over the past 10 years as a passionate advocate for female economic power. Her work goes beyond her duties as president of the board of a 501c3 nonprofit organization, Mujer Aprende Latina, which she co-founded with 4 other women to help women attain their financial autonomy through entrepreneurship. She is a speaker, as well as a panelist in a variety of local and international forums designed to empower women about their finances and communities, be mentors, or commit to a career in entrepreneurship, STEAM, or politics. Virginia's presentation today is Women's Economic Power. We welcome Virginia Rivera.
Thank you so much. First of all, I want to thank you both for creating such an amazing platform for women around the world so we can communicate, women and men around the world, so we can communicate and definitely guarantee a sustainable world for all. So I think this is definitely the way to go. I think the power of speaking, having a speaking platform is key because we can start to listen to our voices and what we think, and we also know where our heart is. I want to apologize if I'm a bit stuffy. I do have a cold, but I could not miss the opportunity to share with you all today. You know, when I first saw Enolia and Krisztina, and I participated in their first program, I think it was like 3 months ago. I really loved how we synchronized, how everybody that was on that platform really going forward continued to work together. And it really shows how when we open ourselves up to other people, other ways of thinking, other countries, other languages, we will understand because the language of the heart is universal. I may not speak French, I may not speak Mandarin, but I know what a woman feels. I know what a child feels. I've been there. We've lived it, right? So many times we cut interaction thinking that I won't be able to understand. Let me tell you, even if you don't speak a language, open yourself up to the connection. The human connection is so much more powerful than any language barrier that you could ever encounter. So first and foremost, in order for us to move forward, we have to start believing that we are one human race. No matter where we're from, no matter the borders that people have created, we actually belong together. And I think that is one of the most beautiful things that I realized as I started to travel, that what I had lived, no matter if I lived it in a sunny little island in the Caribbean, the same experiences somebody maybe in Angola or maybe in Buenos Aires had experienced. So those experiences make us human. And not only that, they make us that connection, that special connection, and they make us family. So I always say, humankind, we're all sisters and brothers. And I always talk about the wonderful sisterhood that a lot of us believe in, the sorority that exists when women work together. And I invite men to really clue in and see that it is something wonderful for all. Nonetheless, women continue to be under the poverty line. 388 million women around the world live under extreme poverty. It's not the poverty that maybe you and I know, the one that, maybe we don't have enough money for our basic necessities. This poverty is the poverty that takes away the dignity that you were born to have as humans. The fact that we have people that don't have food every day. We have women and children and men that live under such precarious situations that they don't really know what is going to happen in the next hour. And so, as I read about poverty around the world, one of the things that could help us eradicate poverty is making sure that women are economically empowered. Economic empowered does not mean that I'm going to tell you that you're going to have millions of dollars. That's not it. Economically empowered is that you recognize where you're at in your financial situation. You also realize what you were given in your innate package. And an innate package is what you came to the world with. I sing well. I am very good at analyzing. I am so good at tidying up. I am very good at tasting or cooking. These are innate things that we actually have in our system that were given to us as abilities and talents. When we are able to know what those are and discover our strengths, we continue and we start to become richer as the time goes by. I think that many times we think rich or financially independent as people that have a lot of money. I want to say that I want to make sure that everybody has their basic necessities met. Once that is done, then we aspire to grow, but we need to make sure that our fellow men and women have what they need to live. In Mujer Emprende Latina, which is the organization, our slogan is, we believe that every woman should live in freedom, with dignity, and prosperity. Those are our three pillars. Freedom, we all know that our sisters are not free. We all know that there's so many of our sisters that still live in bondage. And I always say, we are not free until we are all free. So we need to start thinking that it's just not us, that there's a world out there that really needs what I can give. When we speak about dignity, when you see a mom with her child, and that mother literally is asking you to help feed her child, her dignity has been in jeopardy. Because when we come to this world where there's so much nature, where there's so much abundance, we should make sure that everybody has what the nourishment they need, not only for their soul, I'm talking about their human being, their needs. And we know that that is not true. So the moment that our hunger pain continue, it means that we no longer live in dignity, because our basic necessity to stand up, to have the energy to work, to really participate is no longer there. So hunger is a humongous issue. And everywhere. As many times we may think that, oh, she eats, she looks a little bigger. When we talk about really eating nourishment, it's about really being wonderful to nature, giving nature what it needs to grow so we can all partake of how bountiful it can be. But we all know that that is not what's happening. And our natural resources are suffering. So that strips us from our dignity because that is what was given to us to live and to prosper. And when we talk about prosperity, once we live in freedom, once we have our basic necessities covered, then we're able to really explore how I'm going to put forth the talents and the abilities that were born with me. How many of us discovered a talent when we were young, dancing, singing, drawing, writing, and somebody told us, that's not even important. That doesn't make you money. And we forgot about those talents. We forgot about those abilities. We forgot about our innate package. We were given these things so our purpose can match that innate package. And that is our contribution to the world. But when we have girls, and we know that there's so many countries that see women as a curse when they're born, because what they wanted were boys from the get-go. We're cursing a young person, a young child, to really explore what she was meant to do, what her contribution was. So when we think about freedom, living in dignity and prosperity, it's not about sending them to the university. It's about really making sure that what they were meant to do in this earth right now is going to happen. And it's our responsibility, all of ours. If Enolia had not really been given the opportunity at the time to do her purpose, we would not be here today. We would not be sharing this platform. I would not know Krisztina. So the fact that she was able to really grow and listen to her intuition, I always call it the voice of God. People call it other things. And know where we should be. If we don't give every single human being the opportunity to do that, we're robbing ourselves of the world that we deserve. So my message today when it comes to female economic empowerment is to realize that when we give women the tools to really know where she's at, to really feel secure where she lives, how she nourishes herself, how she's able to move in the world that she's in her community, we are really allowing her and giving her the power to unleash her purpose and her contribution. If we clip those wings, we will never see what that purpose is, and we will never feel what that contribution can be. And most importantly, we will not have a sustainable world for all. And for me, that is key. So I always talk about female economic empowerment because a woman that knows that she can pay for her kids' food, for their shelter, for their clothing, starts to become a woman that feels empowered because economically she's able to provide. And let me tell you, we're not talking about millions. We're talking about she can work. We can make sure that she can use her God-given talent to really help others. But right now, 388 million women and girls around the world live under extreme poverty. That means they don't know when they're going to eat. They don't know where they're going to sleep. And they don't know how they're going to be protected. Many times we think that's their problem. That's their economy. Those are their politicians. You know what? As we always say, if one of us is not free, none of us are free. And freedom comes from living the life that we were supposed to live. And I have to say, it's so little what we have to do. It's opening up the door for your fellow sister, friend. If you're a man, I invite you to realize that we need collaboration from everybody in order for us to have the world that we need. She's never going to be more powerful than you. because she has her own power and so do you. It's not a competition. It's really collaboration. It's where we meet to really create the world that we want. I've heard women be so severe with their own sex and gender. If she only did this, if she had done that, why does she have so many kids? These are things that we hear every day. We are not here to judge. We are not here to pass judgment. If a woman decides that she needs to have 14 children, that's her decision. And you know what? Instead of criticizing, we should be out there because it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village to really live up to your dreams. It takes a village to really help us all become sustainable. It takes all of us. So many times we believe that it's just about the me. And I'm here to tell you it's about the us. Female economic empowerment, when she knows where she is, when she has the means to really live her life in dignity, it's going to open a world that we haven't seen yet. Because the contributions are going to be incredible. We're really going to be allowing every single human being to really live to their purpose and their best human experience. Whatever it is, they're going to be there. So next time that you think, what happens to her doesn't affect me, you're just fooling yourself. It does. If you are a man and you think, well, that is his problem, or that is their problem, it also affects you. It affects all of us. So the fact that we can put women to work in a work that is not under the poverty level, where we actually start to respect what she brings to the table, when we invite her to the table to have conversations, not to feed us, not to bring us coffee, but to really participate wholeheartedly, let me tell you, you will have food and you will have coffee because women take care of everyone. It's in our nature. We're nurturers, but we're also powerful. We're also smart. We also are leaders. So when we are able to live freely and have dignity in our life, we will begin to prosper. And it's not prospering for us, it's prospering for all. So the next time you hear about women want to have money, I want you to know that it goes beyond money. It really means that we want to make sure that everybody is accounted for and that everybody is living the best version of who they are. Thank you so much for allowing me this moment to share this.
Virginia, what a powerful message. I loved your sentence when you said, open up yourself to the human connection. That's really, really amazing. And yes, to embrace and realize that we are one human race. I absolutely, your message, you are truly a leader. You are truly way forward, how would normally I say. You had a very powerful message, a really powerful call to action, actually, to abdicate poverty. And I loved about freedom, dignity, and prosperity, because only then we are free when all of us are free. So thank you for sharing your wisdom, sharing your knowledge, and being once again on our platform.
I love it. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Virginia.
Oh, Virginia, thank you so much for being that ripple effect and representing that which always should be. So thank you.
Thank you, love. Thank you for inviting me. I will continue to participate. I love your platform. Continue to open it up to the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'd like to introduce Akleema Ali from Trinidad and Tobago. Akleema is a Reiki master practitioner in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago in the Caribbean. She is passionate about educating individuals about Reiki and its benefits. Akleema has contributed to the field of mental health in Trinidad and Tobago in journals such as the International Journal of Adolescent Medicine and Health in 2004, Social Psychiatry and Psychiatric Epidemiology, 2005, and European Child and Adolescent Psychiatry, 2006. Her fascination with health and healing over time has shifted from the clinical reporting of mental health incidences and rates to the healing modality of Reiki as a complementary therapy. She has published articles focusing on Reiki in the Reiki News magazine, 2020, the Universal Life magazine, a magazine for Reiki professionals, 2022 and 2023, and the Journal of Integrative and Complementary Medicine, 2022. She was one of the top 10 energy healers in 2022, awarded by the Energy Healing magazine. Her presentation, Subjective Experiences of Receiving Reiki. We welcome Akleema Ali.
Thank you so much for that beautiful introduction. And I do have a little presentation, so I'm just going to share my screen. So this is my topic for today. It's on the subjective experiences of receiving Reiki, which is really the experiences that clients receive when a Reiki practitioner is giving Reiki to them. So I am from the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, and just a little background, I belong to 3 professional associations: the Reiki Healing Association, the International Center for Reiki Training, as well as the Center for Reiki Research. So my presentation is actually focused on the work I would have done with the Center for Reiki Research. So this is a little bit about the center. Now, this center is based in Southfield, Michigan, in the United States. It's the first and only non-profit organization dedicated to the field of Reiki research. The purpose of the center is to promote the scientific awareness of Reiki by conducting quality research and providing an updated archive and summary of all evidence-based Reiki research published in peer-reviewed journals. The center offers guidance and direction for all researchers, practitioners, and clinicians that want to conduct Reiki research in the world. It seeks to validate and foster the acceptance of Reiki biofield therapy as an integrative healthcare practice, which is really the way of the world and the way forward with Reiki. Now, if you don't know what Reiki is, this is what it is. It is a form of energy medicine or biofield therapy that reduces stress and promotes healing. It is administered through in-person laying of the hands on a body, or offered remotely or through distance. The original practice originated in Japan nearly 100 years ago, and its popularity is growing globally. Scientific research for Reiki is still in the beginning stages. However, the research to date shows great promise for Reiki's ability to promote health. So the highlighted study for today was actually published in the Journal of Integrative and Complementary Medicine in 2022. And the team of researchers belong to the Center for Reiki Research. The title of the journal article is an evaluation of the subjective experience of receiving Reiki, qualitative results from a pragmatic effectiveness study. So this study took place at a private Reiki practice across the United States. So different Reiki practitioners would have asked their clients to complete a survey before and after a Reiki session. Now, this study is quite large. As you would have seen, just over 1,000 individuals would have participated in this study. So we actually had 1,284 responses. And it is from those responses that we generated what people experience when they take part or they sign up for a Reiki session from a practitioner. Now, this is a fairly large paper. So of course, because of time, I pulled out, these are the 8 major themes or some of the more popular reasons why people choose Reiki as a modality in order to deal with stress and to promote peace within. The number 1 reason identified from the study: people experienced deep relaxation and calm, almost 70% of that sample. People also experience a lot of body sensations and somatic experiences. And I'm going to give you all a couple examples of what they actually wrote in a bit. People experience a range of emotions when they receive Reiki. We also had 18% of the sample experience or have some type of spiritual journey or visitation by someone that is significant to them. We've had people experience change in symptoms in whatever ailment or condition they are currently experiencing. Changes in perception, whether it's visual perception, auditory perception, or even a perception in time change. 10% of the sample, or people who experience Reiki, just fell asleep. They became very drowsy and they don't remember much. And only 4% of the sample became very much aware that their breathing slowed down or their breathing became deeper. So I'm going to carry all into examples of what people actually wrote. So when it came to deep relaxation and calm, one client wrote, a powerful experience of receiving Reiki that has brought a sense of physical calm and peace with everything. Another, I felt a sense of great relaxation and my jaw unclenching and relaxing about 10 minutes into the session. When it came to body sensations, which was the second major theme, people experienced different types of tingling and numbing sensations in their body. And in fact, sometimes people experience what we would call a phantom experience or energy sensation. So for example, the second example is a client experienced at one point during the session, I was laying still with my eyes closed and felt warm pressure on my left arm. I thought the practitioner was holding my arm, but when I opened my eyes, she was on the opposite side of the table with both hands over my torso. And the third example actually is somebody who kind of described an out-of-body experience, which was experienced, as you would see, just over half of the sample also had the experience of having their body floating or lifting off of the table. The third theme of emotions, 28% of people felt happier or experienced a sense of gratitude, love, and centeredness. And some clients actually got a sense of clarity with respect to where the root of their emotional state resided and how to correct the bad energy that needed to be released by them. And the last item, there's actually a vivid description of what a client wrote when she experienced her emotional release. Her tears flowed hot, and even though she was ashamed, she was also encouraged that it was good to let the tears flow, that these tears are really cleansing her spirit. Now, within a Reiki session, as I said, people experience different things. So some people experience journeys, or they have people show up in their vision or in their mind. And these are two powerful examples. One person actually got a vision of Reiki Master Takata. It was a wonderful experience for the client. And in fact, the person knew that it was Master Takata who was at the back of her head, touching her head with her fingers. Another client experienced an extremely powerful spiritual journey. That is when Jesus appeared with a message. I felt tense and he said, do not worry, everything is okay. I am in charge of everything. Why do you ask me to help when you continue worrying? You are always seeking for me and ask me where I am. And when I am in front of you, you do not recognize me. So Reiki does different things for different people, and it is a very powerful modality. Now, changes in symptoms, this varied for or were experienced by 16% of the sample. So we did have a few clients experiencing pain, which is translated, meaning that the energy needs to pass through the body and the client needs to be able to release the source of whatever was causing their pain. And we had some positive symptoms, meaning some people, blood pressure dropped, people had, lessened symptoms when it came to anxiety and depression. So changes in symptoms focused on that. When it came to changes in perception, 11% of the sample, like I said before, some people experience or see colors when they receive Reiki. So they see bursts of color, they see rainbow of lights, they see glittering gold, different colors. And then we also have people who felt as if they lost their sense of time. That third example, that person felt as if they were only on the table for a short space of time. And in fact, they have been on that table for about 48 minutes. And the last example was really rare. Out of that entire sample of over 1,000 people, only 3 people had the experience of actually hearing a sound from the practitioner's hands. Sleep and drowsiness, 10% of the sample just fell asleep, nothing else to remember in that session. And 4% of the sample, like I said, changes to breathing. People became very much aware of the in and the out breath from the body. One client was able to isolate their breathing to belly breath, and one person was aware that their breathing slowed down or became deeper. So even though Reiki is a very curious or still remains a mysterious modality, I think the work of this center and paving the way for the future with this modality shows the following. The findings from this study confirm that Reiki can elicit the relaxation response, body and somatic sensations, and does alter emotions and perceptions in such a way that the client experiences a transformative type of healing. For the future, more Reiki research and collaborative efforts are needed in order to contribute to the field of Reiki and promote acceptance of it as a modality to adjust the human biofield. And of course, blending Reiki with traditional medical intervention will lead to a more integrative and compassionate healthcare system. So I just want to thank you all for listening and allowing me on this platform to show the type of work that I'm doing in my part of the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Akleema. Thank you. I am fascinated by the way how science tries to prove, that spirituality and energy work and energy healing actually really helps people. Connecting spirituality, with the science and showing it in numbers and facts, it made it more credible. So people start to use it more and more, and which makes me really happy. So thank you, Akleema, for sharing about Reiki. I'm all about it. So you got me on this one.
I would like to introduce next Mr. Nicholas Barnes. In 2007, Nicholas was injured quite severely, which left him struggling with disability and post-traumatic stress disorder. In 2021, Nicholas Barnes overcame mental and physical ill health, and he is now a master hypnotherapist coach, professional emotion coach, practitioner in pain management, public speaker, and mindfulness teacher. Nicholas shows the world inspiration by leading by example in overcoming difficult challenges of emotions and of chronic pain through the Warrior program he has founded. Nicholas has been featured in Hoinzer magazine and the Business Innovators magazine for his contributions. He has also been recognized and awarded a trophy for all of the challenges he overcame and for his qualifications he's gained. Nicholas truly embodies that hard work pays off. Nicholas is focused on the growth of his career week by week and enjoys enhancing his business skills, which will further projects in helping his community and the world. Nicholas is an ambassador for Expressions of Humanity Foundation, that's expresshumanity.org, raising funds for charity and dedicated to helping people through any cause of life. Nicholas's presentation, To Inspire the World. We welcome Nicholas Barnes.
Thank you so much. It's lovely to see you all. Thank you for inviting me here today. Did you know that a modern mindfulness teacher is a specifically trained facilitator who holds space for presence, reflection, and connection with self and others to occur? And they do this with the purpose of teaching the skills of paying attention to present moment, experiences without judgment of thoughts, feelings, or sensations. We teach mindfulness techniques that can improve self-regulation and focus, because mindfulness is a practice that develops attention and awareness. No matter what learning environment we teach in, public, private, or home, it is a win-win for both teacher and student. I have struggled in my life with my own emotions in my adulthood since my days of leaving the armed forces, because last year when I qualified as a mindfulness teacher, I learned to teach myself self-love, again from everything I experienced in my past, by understanding and showing wisdom, by understanding my emotions and understanding other people's emotions too. I have an EQ, and that's emotional intelligence, and it's where I can understand my emotions as well as other people's emotions too. From what I've been through in my past and with my chronic pain, I learned skills to help me manage my emotions and my pain by studying pain management. And now I'm a practitioner in pain management, which has helped me understand how to deal with my emotions of my pain, which is to appreciate my body in understanding why I experience pain, and to not feel emotional by it because it causes more pain. So by not being emotional, it lessens the physical pain, and it's good. And practicing that through mindfulness really helps too, because it's more relaxation to me, and it's why I help people, because I understand how it feels. So many years of feeling pain, and I still get pain, but I manage it. I rarely take painkillers. Take it the odd occasion, a cocodamol. But most of the time, I meditate and I practice. I study in my manuals by just understanding myself, basically my emotions and my body, because during 21, I met a holistic health coach that helped me overcome my mental and physical health issues. I was in a powered wheelchair for my service because of my spinal injury. I had a lot of health issues too. I had high cholesterol, underactive thyroid, type 2 diabetes. I was on a lot of medication. I was on like over 26 tablets a day. I was even on tablets for the diabetes and insulin, which I had to self-medicate, Now, I've fully reversed it all. I did not use any medications at all. And when I feel pain, it's only caused more by bad weather, So then when I studied neuro-linguistic programming in August 21, I qualified as a practitioner in October 21. And then February 22, I gained a qualification in understanding mental health first aid and mental health advocacy in the workplace. Last year in July, I mastered my master course in hypnotherapy. Very proud of that. And then during September, I was published in those magazines for my achievements, and I was also awarded a trophy, and I'm very proud of that, really, really proud. And then I've been through so much in my life, I've lost friends to, during my service days. school friends, that have died from illness, suicide, military friends from suicide too. In 2020, my wife, I was married to for 16 years, passed away from womb cancer. And that was not an easy thing to go through, bereavement of someone that I loved. And I learned, with all my qualifications, I learned to overcome that emotion. I studied so hard to understand mental health, to be able to, because you have to experience it to be able to understand it, to be able to help others, And that's why I learned a valuable lesson in my life of past trauma. And that was it, being able to forgive my past of what I've experienced in my life and all the choices that I've made. And now it's helped me live a happy and healthy life, because being able to walk again, I'm still amazed, because at times I just feel like it's so quick. I overcome everything so quick, and wow. So with my business, I'm helping professionals with their emotions and pain, private coaching, one-to-one. I built my own program helping my clients with multiple health conditions, which I partnered up with a friend. She's a rapid transformational therapist. She's in my program to go through her expertise in the program to be able to help our clients. And recently I've collaborated with a team of podcasters by ending the stigma of mental health globally. And at our team of the mental health warriors, we truly believe that everyone deserves a happy life in the best and healthiest way, because we truly care about the world, Everyone needs to be happy, healthy, and free from ill health. I've been creating my own book, my own business apps, my own audio books, and I'm writing my own biography now. And my biography is called The Mental Health Warrior. If you'd like to know more of what I do, if you want to talk about anything, you can contact me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'll be very happy to speak to you all. Thank you for listening. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nicholas, for sharing your leadership, sharing your experience. It's really important what you are saying to live a mindful life. And more importantly, what you shared is awareness about mental health, really. Mental health awareness is very important. Mental Health Warrior, I really love the title. Kudos for you. And really, I'm telling you as well, be proud of yourself, be proud of your accomplishment, because you are a leader on your field. And again, you teach and inspire from experience. So thank you so much for being here and sharing with us today.
Thank you, Nicholas, so much for that heartfelt story. Really appreciate you. Last but not least, I'd like to introduce our speaker, Krisztina Konya. Krisztina is a multi-award-winning spiritual coach, empowerment, and authentic leadership coach, and Usui Reiki master teacher, and an award-winning international speaker, co-founder of We Champions International Foundation, co-founder of Yovan International, South Africa, CFO at Expressions of Humanity, and host of the Truth Runners talk show. Krisztina holds several certificates and has a bachelor's degree in business management. Krisztina is profoundly passionate and believes that we are all destined for greatness and can be successful in all areas of our lives. However, the first step in achieving success is to unleash the power of self-love and to know ourselves well, to understand who we are. Her mission is to encourage women to find their path towards empowerment and to hold the space for them to achieve this by giving them some of the most valuable and practical tools that help her personally and with her journey towards self-development, self-love, and growth. And I just want to say that Krisztina is my dear, dear friend, business partner, and I am so proud to introduce her for this beautiful and powerful moment. So without further ado, Krisztina Konya, we welcome you.
Thank you so much, Anolia. Thank you so much, all. Being very honest with you, my heart sings, and I'm so, so, so happy because we created this event and we had the intention to present leaders and to present the impact. And there we are, and I'm feeling so happy and accomplished and proud because I think, Anolia, we just achieved our purpose. We just reached our goals because you guys, you are true leaders. All of you who spoke today, you are, we are all coming from different backgrounds. We have all our own stories, yet each and every one of these stories, what I've heard today and what you shared today, is a story of success. No matter from where you come, no matter in which part of the world you are, or no matter how traumatic experiences you had in your life, we all managed to stand up, to be here and be the voice to those who are afraid, who are not there yet. They are not there. They don't dare to share their voices yet. True leaders make other leaders, not followers. And that's what we all are. And I always love to quote Enonia when Enonia says, we are the way showers. You, the speakers from today here, you are the way showers. We all are. Because from our experiences, from our lessons, we can teach others, we can inspire others. And I'm so happy that seeing that scientific part, the spiritual part, the economic part, this is all beautifully combined together. Because some of us are spiritual coaches, some of us are more scientific part coaches, right? But we all teach the same thing, the oneness, that we are all one, right? And I'm so proud of all of you here. It really, really, really makes me happy. And yes, I am a speaker too, but sometimes when I see you guys, I'm kind of lost words and I would just let my heart speak. My heart can speak. I'm trying to put that in words. I embrace all of you. I see all of you and I love all of you for who you are and for what you do. Because are part of me and I'm part of you. So thank you for all. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your impact to humanity and to the world. And what I'm saying is this, just continue being yourself. Just continue doing what you do. Continue your growth and your journey. This is going to be your legacy. This is your purpose. Everybody's asking, what's my purpose? That's your purpose. To inspire others, to be there for others, to be the lighthouse for others. So kudos to all of you, all my respect and all my love.
Thank you so much, Krisztina. Ditto what you said in terms of everybody. We're so grateful that you're here. We're going to continue to provide a platform for people to speak on. And in sharing that, our next engagement for speaking will actually be, it's June 9th and 10th, which is a Friday and a Saturday. We're really excited because as we create space to be able to have our voices heard, that space is getting picked up from other people. So we just partnered with Fave Unite TV. So what will happen is that for those of you who choose to have your speeches heard, that it will be on cable TV and it will be shared with the masses on Fave Unite TV. So we are making inroads, and don't think that your voice doesn't count, because it does. Every story counts. So thank you, everybody, and have a beautiful and blessed rest of the day.
Thank you, guys.